Welcome to CRE Radio and TV. I'm your host, Howard Klein. Today, we get to interview Jim Young, the co-founder and CEO of Realcomm and IBCon. That and those are the granddaddies of commercial real estate tech conferences. We'll be talking about this year's Realcomm conference with Jim, but first, a station identification, and let's hear from some of our sponsors. AMP Technologies, the Uber manager for your commercial real estate. It will simplify your asset management. Welcome back to the show. So we've got Jim Young now. Let's talk a little bit about Realcomm 2016, a little bit of the history and what's different this year. So Jim, tell us what's going on.
Yeah, this is year 17, I believe. So we've been at this for a while. And this year we decided to take it to Silicon Valley.
And why the change?
Well, because we're in the tech field, we have a lot of conversations, and, we pay attention to what's going on in Silicon Valley, and it just seems in the last 12, 18 months, there's a burst of innovation taking place. I mean, stuff that's been in the laboratories or behind closed doors for the last 5 or so years is getting ready to come out. And so we got crazy technologies like artificial intelligence, blockchain, autonomous vehicles, immersive reality, just all this stuff that the Valley is working on that sooner or later is going to impact how we use, manage, operate, transact real estate. So we said, let's dive head in. Let's go and let's let us rub off on them. Let's teach Silicon Valley a little bit about commercial, corporate, institutional buildings, and then let a little bit of them rub off on us. And pretty much what they have is the speed they operate is incredible. Their capacity to take risks is incredible. So it's really, commercial and corporate real estate meets Silicon Valley.
When is this going to be?
It's going to be June 21st through the 24th. We've got a pre-conference on the 21st. The main conference is 22 and 23. And then we've added a fourth day this year. We're calling executive briefings and tours. And what that means is we found 10 or so really innovative companies, technologies in Silicon Valley that have real relevance to the real estate industry. So we've scheduled tours. The Google tour, we actually get to take people onto the Google campus. That's already sold out. But we've got Intel, we've got Levi's Stadium, we've got Stanford, we've got home automation showcase up in San Francisco. A autonomous parking garage in Oakland where the cars are parked with, by robots, if you will. It's on kind of a compartmentalized system where they take the cars and put them into spaces. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be 4 full days. And actually, it's 5 days because there'll be a handful of people coming in on Monday actually to do a small little golf tournament. So,
Jim, can you give us a little summary of what goes on at the conference?
Yeah. So, as I mentioned, we started 17 years ago, and we started pretty much on the idea of...
Can I ask you a question, just to interrupt
Sure.
you slightly? Was that before the gray hair?
Yes, before the gray hair. Much before the gray hair. Gave me the gray hair. So the idea was to bring the real estate industry together to talk about technology. The first group was brokerage. Then we quickly got into owners and operators on the real estate information management side, so the Yardi, MRI, property management kind of environment. And then about 12 years ago, 14 years ago, we entered into the smart building space, connected high-performance intelligent buildings. So people today would call that the building Internet of Things. So we've been doing that for about 12 years. Our exhibit floors sold out about 4 weeks ago. So we will have 125 or so companies ranging from the major players in the industry. We've got a whole new group of Fortune 500 companies coming into the space. So the Intels, the Ciscos, the GEs, and then we've got a whole rash of startups, which we've referred to as CRE Tech 4.0, kind of the fourth iteration of real estate tech startups, at least in my career in the last 20 plus years. So yeah, the exhibit floor is going to have just an insane amount of innovation. We're going to have a virtual reality, mixed reality lab where people are going to put on goggles and walk around empty leasing spaces and click buttons and see furniture appear. So tenants won't have to imagine what space will look like. Same application or same technology be used for maintenance. So people will put on goggles and they won't be able to fix a certain piece of equipment. The manual will come down in front of their face. An expert can log into their goggles and look at the equipment and work along with them. We're going to have a drone and a robotics area where you'll see drones and robots being used in commercial real estate application. We're going to be showing some new wireless technology, taking cell phone signals and being able to monitor people through facilities to watch for occupancy density. We're going to have Conference Live, where we'll have over 60 interviews being webcast live throughout the 2.5 days. We're going to have a little fun zone, little kickback area. We got a pool table and a little old school, foosball table, pool table, a golf simulator, so people have some fun. But the amount of innovation that's going to be on that floor is just crazy. That's the exhibit floor. And then on the program side, I think we're past 100 sessions now. So I think we're probably up to about 200 speakers, 250 speakers. And between pre-conference and the 2-day event, we are covering everything from the next generation of ERPs, new cool applications from startups. We call them the apps. We've got a CRE Tech 3.0 track where we're going to talk to venture capitalists and some of the new companies. On the smart building side, we're going to talk about how do you put a network into the building. Just like you have a plumbing system in a building, you're going to have networks. We're going to talk about building operating systems, analytics. The program is actually too big to describe, and I just would encourage people to go up and look at it, because these are all topics too that are going to not just change our industry around the edges, but are set to transform everything from how the receptionist answers the phone to how you collect some rent, how your tenants interact with you. Just about every business process associated with either running the real estate side or the smart building side is up for grabs right now.
So who should be going to Realcomm?
So remember there's two conferences: Realcomm, which is on the real estate information management side, and then there's IBCon, the Smart Connected High Performance Intelligent Buildings Conference, which is focused on the smart building side of the house. All are involving real estate technology, but one's more how do we manage the assets, and then how do the buildings operate. So the people who come to our conference are CIOs, chief operating officers, chief financial officers, anybody technically involved in a real estate company that's interested in understanding what technologies are available, coming down the road and what topics are hot. We're going to have a great cybersecurity forum with two of the country's leading analysts, Route 9B and Cylance, who are actually going to do live black hat hacks. So we're going to be simulating. I joke that they're going to come in with hoodies, and the masks, and they said that's part of the world they hang in. So they're going to show our crowd how their buildings, how their systems, how their information is vulnerable, right? And then on the building side, who should come would be facility managers, directors of real estate, energy, sustainability executives, anybody who's responsible for keeping the facilities up and running. And then, of course, we've got architects, brokers, owner, operator, developer, really every category. The most common denominator of everybody who comes to our conference is somebody who understands that the status quo is not a good place to be, and they're looking for the future. So we really don't look past too much or backwards. We're really here today and looking forward. So the most common denominator is we get a lot of early adopters, innovators, and people really striving to push the business forward.
Jim, thank you very much. I really appreciate your time, and I look forward to seeing you at Realcomm 2016 in San Jose, California, June 21st through the 25th, 2016. And if any of you watching out there, I want you to know you could also be a sponsor for CRE Radio and TV. Just contact me at www.creradio.com/advertise. You have a great day.